One of the hardest things I've ever had to do is find the will to live, and to me, that feels strange. And it really wasn't until recently that that concept really started to click. I saw a friend somewhere say that death is involuntary and life is a choice. And it sounds quite stupid for me to say it like this, but I realized yes, life is a choice. Yeah, it is. That makes sense. You do have to choose to live life in a way that you find satisfactory, or else you're not going to enjoy it. And to be quite honest with you, to me, this revelation was quite heartbreaking because for so long I felt like I had to fight the urge to not give up. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but it's like acknowledging that every day is going to be a battle. And to be honest, sometimes I don't feel like I'm going to win. So I started to ask myself, why don't I have that will to live? Why is this something that is hard for me to voluntarily do? When did I lose it? Why does life feel so hard sometimes? Yesterday, I was applying to jobs because I'm currently unemployed, which fucking sucks. And there was this question: what gets you out of bed in the morning? And I'm gonna be honest, I paused for a second because I didn't really know how to answer that question. Yeah, there are things that I enjoy in life, but there aren't many things that drive me to get out of bed. My dog is probably the only one, and when I'm done walking him, I'm going right back to bed. It's embarrassing to say this on the internet, but even today, I didn't leave my bedroom until like maybe 1 or 2 p.m. after I walked him, obviously. And to be honest, that does bother me deep down inside. It does hurt me because I really don't believe that I was always this way. As recently as a couple months ago, I wanted to create a short film because I was just excited about the prospect of trying videography and cinema, directing, all that. But as with many things in my life, and I won't get into all the details about my life, the plan died really before it could pick up some steam. I often feel like I rely on too many external things, or really people, to help me achieve what I want. And when those people, those things don't respond how I hope they would have responded, I'm left feeling stranded because now I can no longer do this thing that I wanted to do, especially because I do prefer working alone. I view myself as an introvert. I prefer to be alone a lot of the time. However, that mode of being, that almost antisocial behavior, doesn't feel like a model that can help you achieve success today, which makes sense. It does. Especially for me, when a lot of the things that I want to do require a team. And when you don't have a team, or you operate better without a team, or you just have anxiety working with other people, that kind of destroys your motivation. I've been laid off twice in the past 5 years. The first time was in 2020 in May during the peak of COVID. The most recent time is this past May 2025, 5 years apart, on some anniversary type shit, and that drastically has impacted how I view myself. I thought that everything would be okay, everything would be fine. Everything I've done up to this point, the biggest highlight being getting 2 degrees from two pretty good universities in cognitive science and psychology, learning photography, picking up other skills that might be useful to somebody. I genuinely thought that I would have enough to create a life for myself where I didn't have to rely on anyone else to support me. But today, where I stand now, it feels like none of that mattered. None of the decisions I made mattered. Even really all the time that I put in into anything that I've done was all a waste of time. And that's frustrating. It makes me upset to sit here and say that. It feels like I'm 29 and have very little to show for it. I didn't always feel this pressure to be successful at a particular age, and I really didn't start feeling that pressure up until recently. I'll be honest, part of it comes from social media, part of it comes from friends, but a lot of it really is internal. The way that I kind of saw the world is that, hey, I would do these things. For example, go to school, get these degrees, and get this little job in research, and I'll be all right. I'll be able to work and everything will be fine. But it feels like that has not been the case up to this point. With everything I've done in, let's say, the first 23, 24 years of my life, I felt like the future or the latter part of my 20s would not be this difficult. But within the last 6 years, it feels like nothing that I did in the earlier part of my life mattered. And that's frustrating. I've started to ask myself, what is the point of living? What is the reason why I get out of bed? And I really don't know the answer to that question, and that really does bother me. Just before this, I cried. I cried because I really don't know what the answer is, and it frustrates me so much. What is there for me to be excited about? What is there for me to look forward to? And I can't lie, I can't front. It do be feeling like it's really over for me. I cannot lie. It do, bro. Whenever I feel this way, there's this thing that I do. I start to think about fictional characters that experience a similar internal pain or similar ideations that I do. People like Yuji Itadori, Guts from Berserk, Sasuke, Shinji from Evangelion, Spike Spiegel. There are so many characters that I resonate with their melancholy, I resonate with their sadness. And I kind of hate that I do that, but the thing with these characters is a lot of them persevere. Experiencing perceived futility or roadblocks doesn't stop them. I think it's so important for me to adopt this kind of point of view if I'm going to continue on to live and win this daily battle that I've been experiencing for some time now. If they can overcome it, I can too, right? So I'm really hoping that I can. I don't really know how I'm gonna do it, and I don't know if it's a thing where it's like now I don't ever have to worry about these feelings ever again. But what I do know is that I have felt these very painful, sad feelings, and I've decided to continue to fight, and I'm still here today. And I decided to make this video not only for myself, but for anyone that may feel similarly. But I really just want to say, don't give up, continue to fight, because there is a way through. We just have to persevere. Anyways, bye.